Labour have not had this famous photo op with the red box since March 2010. Back then, it was Alistair Darling standing outside 11 Downing Street. Ironically, the most expensive measure that day was a £600 million promise to increase the winter fuel allowance for another year. No such promise this year from Rachel Reeves, although there would be big spending commitments, despite the new government's repeated references to the £22 billion black hole in the public finances left by the previous Conservative government. The Chancellor's three primary aims in her first budget were to increase public sector investment, reform the debt fiscal rule, and thereby increase borrowing for investment.
Their failure to assess the scale of the challenges facing our public services means that this budget raises taxes by £40 billion.
Indeed. It took a further 17 minutes for the Chancellor to reveal who would bear the brunt of this increase.
We will increase the rate of employers' national insurance by 1.2 percentage points to 15% from April 2025. I have always said that if you make Britain your home, you should pay your taxes here too. So today I can confirm we will abolish the non-dom tax regime. 94% of children in the UK attend state schools. To provide the highest quality of support and teaching that they deserve, we will introduce VAT on private school fees from January 2025, increasing the rate of air passenger duty by a further 50%. That is equivalent to £450 per passenger for a private jet to, say, California?
But there were a couple of surprises. No extension to the freeze on the income tax threshold and no increase to fuel duty. There were spending boosts for health, defence, schools and housing.
Because of the difficult decisions that I have taken on tax, welfare and spending, I can announce that I am providing a £22.6 billion increase in the day-to-day health budget. And today I am announcing a total increase to the Ministry of Defence's budget of £2.9 billion next year. £1.4 billion to rebuild over 500 schools in the greatest need. We will increase the Affordable Homes Programme to £3.1 billion, delivering thousands of new homes.
As well as a commitment to compensation in full for the victims of the infected blood and Post Office Horizon scandals, a total of £13.6 billion. There's also a cut to draft alcohol duty by 1.7%, taking a penny off pints at the pub. And £500 million extra to fix an additional 1 million potholes each year. The government also committed funding to bring HS2 to London Euston Station, rather than the capital's western suburbs.
I now call the Leader of the Opposition.
The man who halted public funding to the project in October last year had this rebuff to Rachel Reeves' first budget.
Time and again, we Conservatives warned Labour would tax, borrow and spend far beyond what they were telling the country. And time and again, they denied they had such plans. But today, the truth has come out. Proof that they planned to do this all along.
Sir Ed Davey had nodded approvingly at the Chancellor's announcement of an increase to the carers' allowance, but voiced concern on the target of her tax rises and Britain's current relationship with Europe.
Instead of taking up Liberal Democrat proposals to raise the money we need, by reversing Conservative tax cuts for the big banks or asking the social media giants to pay a bit more, the Chancellor has chosen unfair tax hikes that will hurt small businesses and medium-sized businesses, the engines of our economy. But by ruling out important steps, like a youth mobility scheme, or key long-term goals like membership of the single market, the government is trying to grow our economy with one arm tied behind its back.
Experts say the budget will ultimately have a negative impact on workers.
Raising national insurance on employers will be mostly, in the medium term, incident on employees. In other words, mostly that will flow through into lower pay. Some of it might go into higher prices and some of it might go into lower profits, but mostly it will be in lower pay.
The Prime Minister insists there is a brighter future ahead. The question is, how far ahead and how much patience will voters have?